Thank you, Kat. Nice to see you.
That was so far. I've never had to do the walk-on
Yeah,
before.
oh, you've never done that?
No, I was terrified.
Oh, well, welcome. You did it well. You did it
Did I?
beautifully,
I kind of wanted to shake everybody's hand, though, in a very British way.
Yeah.
But a high five, I went American.
That's right. Yeah, you did both. You were great. You were British and American.
That was a very British high five, though.
Was it a bit? It was a bit Austin Powers.
Yeah, it was a little Austin Powers.
Like, oh,
That's what it was.
Yeah.
Brian and I were theorizing. Were you popular in high school?
Not at all.
I don't believe it.
No,
No way.
and I had hair like yours. I remember those pink squidgy rollers.
Pink squishy rollers.
I remember those. My mum used to put my hair in them.
Yeah.
And then I had the most awful perm when I was a teenager. When I was like 14, that one with the spirals and
Spiral perm.
Yeah, and it was like crispy.
Crunchy hair.
And you do your hair on the hairdryer, and yeah, I had the whole thing.
I wish we were neighbors. We could have saved so much money sharing products.
It's completely true. I had one eyebrow as well.
Me too.
One eyebrow. I was quite spotty as well, and then I had this big hair, which I think was just my mum's idea of me never having a boyfriend, in actual fact.
It does work. It works.
Yeah,
Yes.
I think so. Yeah, she did a really good job.
Well, you've come so far. You've come so far.
Thank you. Very nice of you to say, Rob.
By the way, I have not seen... We used to see each other all the time back in Los Angeles because we worked at the same network for many, many years.
Yeah.
But you've had a baby since I've last seen you.
have,
Congratulations.
Yeah, I'm a proper grown-up now, almost.
He's 16 months old.
He's 16 months old. He's absolutely delicious. I'm almost a grown-up, Ryan.
Yes, not quite yet. Okay,
quite,
good.
But almost. But he's lovely. He's delicious. He's such a good baby.
Are you getting any sleep or any?
Yeah, you know what? He's amazing. He sleeps all night. He's incredible. Wakes up at like 7:30, goes down at 7. Me, however, I'm awake all night just listening out for him. I can't sleep.
You're nervous?
Yeah, I'm nervous. I'm kind of listening out for him. I'm just checking to see if he breathes or not.
Do you want to know what the good news is?
What?
You're going to have that for the rest of your life.
I know, I'm so depressed. I'm like, I'm never going to sleep again.
No, it's the
eye drops and I'm
Yes, exactly.
Yeah, that's it.
So you grew up in what part of England?
It's a place called Birmingham, and it's actually just outside Birmingham. It's not like that. It's very it's kind of industrial. It's like an industrial town.
But you sound posh.
I am not posh
not
at all.
posh?
No, I'm the opposite end of the spectrum. And actually, I probably used to have a stronger, like the accent is a bit like that, really.
Really?
Yes, from where I'm from. Can you understand me?
Yeah, no, talk like that for the next 60 seconds.
Yeah.
Well, what were, in your unposh village, what were you like growing up?
Probably a bit clumsy, not really very together, big hair.
Were you tall as a kid?
Yes, I was.
Tall children have a hard time. They have a hard time finding their balance, right? Don't you think?
The great thing is I've got massive feet, so the balance tends to work out okay. I'm a great swimmer, and I pretty much don't fall over, ever.
Rippa and I live vicariously through what you call tall.
Yeah.
We just close our eyes and picture it sometimes.
You know, I was told that I would be tall every year. The pediatrician would say, well, next year you're going to hit your growth spurt. And now my doctor's like, you're shrinking. And I go, how is that even possible? The good news is I do have the big feet, so I do never fall down.
And you have always fabulous shoes with the heels, too.
But we're still waiting for our growth spurt.
Yeah, we're
still counting on that.
Well, Milo is off the chart. He's so big. So I'm fingers crossed he's going to be a Laker or something like that.
Oh, good.
He's going to look after me when he's a bit older.
Thinking back, obviously, so you think you can dance, you do now, but thinking back, you were doing a bunch of live television early on in the UK, weren't you?
Yeah, I did. That was like one of my first jobs. So I did 3 hours live every week, 52 weeks a year. Kind of like you do every day. 52 weeks a year. And yeah, so everything is some stage or another happened to me. I mean, like I got my first migraine on TV, which was so weird. When it started to go to tunnel vision, I was like, it was terrifying.
I've never had a migraine, and I feel like I'm probably the luckiest person on earth because every time...
You never had one in life?
I've never had one in my life.
Oh, that's amazing.
And I don't think I've ever had a headache, really. But from what I understand, it is the worst most awful thing to experience?
Well, and it was slightly terrifying because it was also live TV, and I started to get this tunnel vision. I was like, I'm dying. I think I'm going to die on live TV. Make sure you're rolling the camera so you can play this.
Always a producer.
Yeah, exactly. You can play that back, but it was crazy. But I've done it. I mean, I've fallen over, I've dropped microphones, I've been ill. I mean, you just carry on, don't you?
You just have to carry. Well, going to the competition show, you kind of have to. You got to follow it because there's rules and
well, you're like a ringmaster.
But I've been in the control room when you were doing the show live. I mean, you are absolutely flawless at doing live television. Honestly, I've seen it in the control room so many times.
I don't know about that.
I think that means something.
It's amazing because I actually you were always like swan-like is what I say, because you just kind of seamlessly go along the surface of the water, but you know underneath you're paddling.
Oh my God!
You know what I mean?
And not touching the bottom.
We'll get there.
All right, we'll get there.
Reach that road?
We are. When we come back, Kat's going to tell us what took her by surprise in the middle of hosting
for 1 year.
Yeah, we were married for 2 years.
Living together for 1 year.
5 years. 5 minus 3 is 2. So
yeah.
We are married 2 years.
Glad we cleared that up. Yeah.
You think they will show this?
Oh, in its entirety. This is the whole series broken down into...
Relationship counseling, Kat Deeley on the job.
Anytime. Just wheel me a couch out, I'll be fine.
So you think you can dance. What happened when you were surprised by Lady Gaga's shoe coming?
Oh, yeah, that was one of my favourite moments, I think, of the whole time we've been doing it. We're now on season 14, which is insane.
Congratulations.
Isn't that crazy?
Amazing, yeah.
I love that show so much.
So do I.
Yeah, it's so
I hope it comes across that I do, because I really, really enjoy it. Anyway, there was 2 girls who just performed, Melanie and Sasha, and they did such an amazing job, and Lady Gaga was one of the judges on the show. And in olden times, if an audience member really appreciated someone's performance, they'd take off their shoes and they'd throw their shoes onto the stage.
Is that true?
That's actually true, yeah, like in the Globe Theatre back in London. That was a real sight. Smelly shoes wafting at your head is a real... Yeah, it was a tradition. So she took off her shoe and threw it at the stage, but at the time she was wearing those Alexander McQueen armadillo shoes that looked like giant hooves.
Yeah.
All sparkles, like she had to be carried to her seat. She couldn't even walk to her seat when she was judging. And they came hurtling at her head. So the 3 of us just kind of ducked them, and then the girls actually took a shoe home each. And I know that Mel has it on her mantelpiece, this amazing Alexander McQueen armadillo.
Well, I was going to say,
wow.
Oh, it's amazing.
Estimated retail value is pretty high on that shoe, so that's a good trade.
Exactly, and at least it didn't hit my face. I mean, actually, that could have been a really great moment on TV if you'd ever whacked me in the face.
I mean, but then you would be entitled to keep not just the shoes, but all of the wardrobe of Lady Gaga.
100%.
Yes, that's right.
And I would.
So, you know, it's so funny. Everybody always says to us, you should go on Dancing with the Stars.
Yeah.
Oddly enough, the only show I ever want to go on is So You Think You Can Dance. Because in my mind, I think I can dance.
Well, I think a lot of people do, but I think that we always encourage people, whether they can or whether they can't. If you just get out there and have a great time, it's pretty good.
How competitive is it going to get this season?
I think it's going to get pretty competitive. We've got some amazing, amazing dancers coming on the show. We're going back old school, so it's adults again. We've got Vanessa Hudgens on as a judge, who's amazing.
Yeah.
But you're busy doing a little something else on the side as well.
Yeah, I'm doing Big Star, Little Star on USA, which is great. It's kind of Mr. and Mrs. meets Kids Say the Darndest Things. So that's
cool.
kind of great. Yeah, celebrities in their 20s.
Oh, that's great.
And then I'm also doing, this time next year on Lifetime as well, where people make a pledge and then we cut to a year's time and see if they've managed to do it. Oh, like magic.
Wow, you two, I swear you have cornered the market.
We should go host something, right? We should go host something. You should have watched Kat Deeley, season 14, So You Think You Can Dance.